Afternoon all, it is Tuesday the 14th of October, it's 19 minutes past 12. My name's Stephen, this is Pamela. Oh, she's saying hello when she's not even facing the camera.
Frantically trying to pause the music.
Frantically trying to pause the music. Holy hell, that looks like Santa. Anyway, right, that was just a random description. I got a bit of that ADHD thing where I see things and then go squirrel. Yep. So today's jobs on the agenda. I have a random bag that's lying here. I take it that's for a pair of skates that are on the machine. Pamela's not listening because she's too busy frantically typing on her computer, kidding on she's doing things when she's not. So what's this bag here for?
The bag is to match the skates you said.
That's what I just said and you never answered me. Thanks. It's going to be a good day. It's going to be a really good day. Oh, it's going to be a really good day. I've had hardly any sleep. The dogs kept me up most of the night last night and I am absolutely fed up with it. They've got to that stage now where what's happening is our Hector is up 3 or 4 times through the night. I managed to get to sleep probably about nearly 4 o'clock last night. I was up 3 times with Hector through the night and then I ended up, like a half-shot knife. So the jobs that I've got to do today is I've got to try and see if I can find a way to fix this. Someone has obviously put a pair of shorts on and come right through the back of them. So I'm going to have to try and see if I can tactfully get that into the sewing machine to try and get it fixed. I think it's going to be a hard one to get it into the machine, but I'll try my best. Worst case scenario, I'm just going to have to do a hand stitch patch or something to try and get it fixed. Now, the next job that I've got here is these pair of skates here. They need some rivets and they need some eyelets. We had an issue with these ones before where the player in question had blocked a shot and the holder was broken. Now it's started to move, so we're going to have to take the rivets out, relocate the holder, and then try and see if we can get it fixed. So we have a plan. I have went away and had a look at the shorts that are bust. And I'm obviously going to show you just quickly. As you can probably see, they're ripped all the way through the net material. My idea is originally that I was going to try and see if I could find that material, but I don't have any of that material spare. So my plan is to try and sew all of this back together to give me a base. And then what I'm going to use is I'm going to use this stretchy kind of gusset material, which I'm actually going to put into sew into both sides. Hopefully that then makes that a difference so that it reinforces that area and makes sure that area doesn't actually come loose. And what I'm going to do is try and sew it together so that there's still a bit of stretch in it. I don't want it to be too rigid. Pamela's idea was to basically turn it inside out and sew it that way, which would have created a seam in the inside of the leg, which would have made it too tight on that leg, which would have meant that I would have had to have bust this side and done exactly the same. So this way, it just means that you're getting a little bit more movement. It's not going to be a lot wider, but it should hopefully do the job. So I'm going to try and get myself set up and do this. I'm not going to time lapse this one because I don't know how well this is going to work, but I will document it once I've done a little bit of work and see how it looks. Here we have some staff training. Pamela's teaching me how to pin and tack. And what is it you're doing?
Tacking it in place.
Why are you tacking it in place?
So that you can stop fighting with the machine. Holds it in place. Ouch. Holds it in place so that you can... You get more hands free. You don't have to hold 2 bits of material together. See, this is because this machine here keeps not being the best. It's a cheap machine, but it's meant to be doing a job. And the way I feel about it right now is that I feel like I want to throw it because it keeps jamming, and it's not really meant for this kind of material. But we're trying our best to try and get it to work. How are you getting on with that tack stitch? It's done.
Is it done? She did stab me in the hand with one of the tack needles. Pins, thanks. So anyway, right, that's tacked in place. Now apparently we're going to run this through the stitching machine or the sewing machine, possibly. It's very, very awkward and I might have to do it by hand instead because it is very extremely awkward and we can't get it into the machine. Very extremely awkward. If you look at the size of this area here and you've got to try and get a actual shot through there, that's just not going to work. This is where we need a boot patcher machine because if I had a boot patcher machine, we'd be able to use that for this kind of material and this kind of repair. But hey, we make do with what we've got. So the shorts turned out to be a 2-person job. Pamela is now in the process of trimming a part of them because she reckons that it's not straight and the tear originally is going to be too bad. We have got the first part stitched into place. It went in okay. It was just a very, very thin bead of stitching. I am going to go back and redo that part just in a little second once everything is ready. Pam is in the process of trimming a little bit of it, and she's obviously also going to do another lock stitch, or whatever it's called. Tack stitch. Tacking stitch, there we go. You can tell I'm too tired for this. So anyway, we're going to try and see if we can get that done, and then we're going to try and see if we can get it through the machine. Because if we can get it through the machine, then that's one less job that we've got to do today. So Pamela's totally invested in this project now. She's taken over. How you feeling about this taking over of the machine? You looking forward to it?
No.
Why? Why are you not looking forward to it?
Yeah, it's hockey shots.
A woman of your calibre should be able to do this, no problem.
It's not going to get in the machine.
Well, you need to try and make it go in the machine. Or it's going to have to be done by hand. Would you like me to do it by hand? Sure. Don't mind.
Shush a minute.
I'll come back once Pam's had a shot of this. How'd it go?
It didn't. It didn't go. I can only get up to there stitched, and then I can't get that through the small hole.
Keep it clean.
Right, go on, away with your camera.
Right, I'm going to have to do this by hand. So that's one of the main things that I'm going to have to do now, is I'm going to have to try and see if I can get the thread long enough and then get it proper needle and then stitch it all the way up. Yeah.
Over to you.
Pamela seems... do you want to do it?
No.
Why do you not want to do it?
I don't do stitching.
Why?
Because I used to do it. I hate it. I don't want to do it anymore.
And that's where it falls to Muggins here. Anyway, right, I'll come back and see once it's finished. So there we have it, the finished article. If we have a quick look here, you can see one side has been put through the sewing machine and the other side has been stitched by hand. Obviously, we have done a little lock stitch down the bottom here just to try and hold that in place. It looks a bit rough, but at the same point, it's functional. It's the best I could do with the machine that I have. If I had a slightly better machine with a little bit more arm length, we would have been able to get that through there, no problem, and then it would have been all machine stitched. But hey, it does the job, it's covered. The hole has gone, the hole is gone, so I'm quite happy with that, if I'm honest. Teamwork makes the dream work effort here. Pamela had to do a little bit of it and I did a little bit of it, so it's job done. So as we all know, I've been bumping my gums about how I'm not happy with my sticks, and I've not been happy with them for a little while. One of the KYC sticks that I was using the other day broke, and I've got another one, and the lie is slightly different from what I'm used to. So I've actually got one of my old blades, or one of my old sticks, or part of my old stick, which was accidentally broken over someone or the boards. So we actually have got a plan for what we're going to do with this. Now the plan for this is, I don't know if you're able to see the white line just around about that area. That is where I would like to change the lie and make the lie slightly different. The reason being is because I'm a taller player, I feel like I lose the puck off the heel quite a lot because I'm quite an upright skater. I don't get forward far enough. That's issues with my knees I've had for years. So I prefer to have my stick a little bit higher. I've always just felt like if I can bring the puck in closer to my feet, I've got better control. And it means that I just feel like I've got better control in general. I would just prefer a slightly higher lie. Now the problem that I've got is when I made my custom sticks through Sherwood years and years and years ago, as we can see, this blade is slightly shaped differently because it was trimmed down quite a bit on this area and it made it very, very narrow. So basically the blade is at one length or one size the whole way through. Now that lie is very, very high in comparison to the one that I was using on my CCM stick, and I got very, very used to using this, which is a problem. The problem with this was the lie was so high that I actually had to trim a little bit off the heel to try and bring it back down again. Now I like the lie of this to an extent, but I don't like the stick. The stick is very, very dull now. It's a very, very old stick in comparison to what I've been using recently, but it's old technology and it doesn't really kick the way I like it to kick. The blade is still solid enough, but the lie is throwing me off still because it is slightly too high, but at the same point the stick is slightly heavy as well. I have asked my supplier if it's possible to do custom Sherwood sticks, but that's not a possibility at the moment. So we are now looking at Custom Warriors. And the reason why we're looking at Custom Warriors is because KYC are not in the position to be able to offer custom blades at the moment. Unfortunately, as much as I like the KYC sticks, I'm going to have to get something made that I can use. So I can use the KYC stick, but I just seem to keep losing it off the heel. That's not, again, a dig at KYC in any way, shape or form. I understand they're a new startup company or within the last couple of years, and they're not in that position to be able to offer customs. So the plan for me today is to try and modify this blade slightly to make it a slightly higher lie and a little bit more flatter. And then once we'll do that, we will then get it sent away to Warrior, hopefully in the next couple of days, and then we can get my custom sticks made. 6:42, that's us finished for tonight. Pamela left around about 5 o'clock tonight. She had to go and pick up the kids, but I was here a little later. We had a special guest appearance from Mr. Alan Craig, who has got a game tomorrow night, so he needed his skates sharpened, and we had a visit from our friend Tony as well, who was in to pick up my season ticket to go to the local Elite League game, because I'm not going to be at the game tomorrow night, because usually on a Wednesday night we're in here and there's a lot of Wednesday night games, so we can't make them all. Anyway, most of tonight, or the stuff that's been done today, has been relatively custom work, time consuming, shall you say. These shots were relatively time consuming, they took up quite a bit of time. I've had, as we can see here, some skates in for some new eyelets that and a sharpen. So they've had, how many is that? 7 in that skate. We've had 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 in that one. So quite a lot of eyelets in that skate. We have another pair of skates that have to have the holder fixed and a couple of eyelets put in them as well. But the player in question's not really in that much of a rush to get them. He's just had surgery on his eyes. So Aiden, if you're watching, shout out to you, big man. I hope your recovery's quick. So Aiden is going to be off the ice for a little while. So it's not a major rush to get his skates done at the moment. He's one of my teammates as well, so it doesn't really take that long to do what he's even done. So I'll get them done and then get them back to him. Other things, updates, not really that much updates if I'm honest on the equipment front. We're still pretty rammed when it comes to equipment on this side. Figure skates, we've still got a lot of figure skates that we're now going to have to go and reorder. The juice has been doing pretty well, if I'm honest. You can see there's a couple of empty slots there in the fridge. I'm going to have to try and get some time tomorrow to go and get some more stuff to put into the fridge. We'd actually close tomorrow. The reason being is, for the first time in a long time, I'm actually taking a Wednesday night off. I have a gig that I'm going to go and see. One of my favourite bands is in Glasgow, so I'm going to go and see them. I'll not say who they are, just in case I give away my music taste, and you guys, I know you guys are quite critical on what we do and what we don't do, so yeah, I'll just keep that one quiet. But needless to say, it's quite a kind of heavy band. So I'm getting to see two bands that I used to listen to when I was really, really young, and now I'm really, really old and I'm still listening to them. So that's us done for tonight. Hopefully there's enough for a video of over the last couple of days. Again, apologies, it's been a little slower. There has been so much going on behind the scenes. The house is still trying to get the stuff finished at the house, still trying to get stuff finished at here, still to get stuff confirmed for here as well. There is some things going on behind the scenes. We are looking for possible other stick manufacturers to come in and step into the frame with ourselves. We're also looking at different manufacturers that we can try and get a hold of as well. I'll not mention any of them at the moment, just in case they fall through. But we are speaking to different companies at the moment, and hopefully we'll see a massive upturn in business again. It was very, very busy for Pamela today. She was constantly on the computer dealing with customers, and with regards to myself, it was just custom work I was doing, so it was very quiet for me today. So it's another late one. It's 1:38 AM on Wednesday morning. I'm here in the store. I just got here after training. I was talking to a couple of boys after hockey, and we then got into a discussion about our true skates. Looks like Scott and I have got exactly the same issue with our skate. Now, if you look at the tendon guard is actually split on the inside. Now, if we have a look at mine, I'm not 100% sure what one it is. I think it might be the right one. Just double checking. No, it's not the right one. Yeah, it is. Well, both of mine are split. You can see that there's a split in that one there. And if we have a quick look on this one, you'll see that one's split as well, but that one's a bit worse. That's concerning for me, and the reason why I would say that that's a concerning thing to do with the hazardous skates, my left skate has completely and utterly collapsed as it is. So if you look at Scott skates are pretty much pristine. They've had to have all of the eyelets pressed in so that they don't come out and they don't have any excess movement. They look a lot better than mine, apart from that one. Now, if you look at my eyelets, the top ones have all fell out and have had to be replaced. And then on this side as well. On the other side, on the other skate, you can see the top 4 are replaced, and the top 4 are replaced on this side too. But for me, for having these skates and the amount of money that I paid for them, I've had to change tongues because I had a fault in the tongue in my skates. If you were following along with the vlog previously, I've had to change the tongue in the skate because the tongue was causing me bother. It was cutting into my foot, causing unwarranted wear, so you say, on my actual ankle bone. It was causing a pressure point also. So I changed to the Pro-Felt tongues, which I must admit the Pro-Felt tongues have been quite good. The only thing I would say is I don't think they're stiff enough and I don't think they're thick enough, but that's just me. I don't think they do. I don't think True offer a thicker tongue. That's just the way it is. That's just an aftermarket option that they have, and I had to get that from a different country. The reason why it was actually bought for me by a customer of mine who had actually got them before. He decided to get a set of tongues, and then he got me a set of tongues as well, and they originally were coming through one of the stores down south, and what happened was he felt like he was being overcharged, so he went to a different country and got them in a different country, and it was cheaper. I think it worked out like maybe £40 or £50 to be able to get them imported from Canada from a different store. The thing that upsets me about these skates is they're meant to be a top end skate. They're meant to be stiff, they're meant to be rigid, which is absolutely fine. They are stiff, they are rigid, but when you get them, they're massively too stiff, and then when you skate in them for a couple of weeks, then they get really, really, really soft very, very, very quickly. For me, I think I would be usually, by now, I should have been in another pair of skates, just for the simple reason that, one, how much these cost. To be fair, they weren't that much. I managed to get them for £330 on a clearance deal from another site, but it was in Europe, and I got them sent across to me, and I instantly changed the holders because I wasn't happy with the holders. Now, what I'm finding with these skates right now is the holder has completely and utterly collapsed on the XS. What I'm finding is there is excessive bending going on around about this area and this area, and you can actually see that it looks as if it's coming off of the actual skate itself. Now, that could be just because of the way that the True skate is made. It's not necessarily made for a CCM holder, so they have been retrofitted to be able to fit my CCM holders and the CCM steels that I use, or the step steels that I use. The thing that upsets me about them is I've not had them that long. I've not really been skating in them that long, if I'm honest, and I feel like the skate collapsing is bad news, especially considering the fact that it's meant to be a top end skate. Again, I'm not being derogatory towards True in any way, shape or form. I understand that I could get a Bauer skate tomorrow and it could fall apart, and then I would have to claim warranty. If it's something that I would be able to claim warranty on, I could have a CCM skate tomorrow and it could break straight away, which I've had a CCM skate break on me before and I claimed warranty, or what I was told from CCM was the skate done its job by it broke rather than my foot breaking. So because that skate broke, I had the same problem again with the left foot. Every single pair of skates I get right now is a problem with the left foot. It might just be me, or it just might be the fact that the width fitting of my left foot is just totally wrong in comparison to the one on the right hand side. The right foot is a wide fit, the left foot is a narrower fit. I would probably say it's a regular fit. So I'm considering going into a regular fit this time and seeing if I can get something different. The major problem that I've got right this very second is I can't find anything on clearance. I can't find anything right now in the UK in my size, and it's a problem for me. Now, the reason why I would look at a clearance skate instead of paying for a top of the range boot, if you go for a clearance model skate, in my opinion, you're getting a better skate for your money and you're saving a little bit of money. When I got these Hazardous 9Xs, like I say, I got them in clearance. Over here in the UK, they were selling them for somewhere in the region of £750 to £850, and I managed to get them for £350, which is a massive saving, especially when you go through skates as much as I do. And when I say go through skates as much as I do, you guys have probably already known by now, if you're following the vlog, I'm going through skates like nobody's business because I just feel that they're just not made to last anymore. When I was talking about when I was younger, before in a previous vlog, when I had a pair of 7000s, these 7000s lasted me 3 or 4 years because the skates were made softer and they were more pliable, and when they broke down, don't get me wrong, they broke down, but I've had customers that come in and that have been skating in the same 7000s that I skated in when I was 16, 17 year old, and they're still got theirs from that long ago because they were that well made and they didn't fall apart. Now, if you were to look at, say for example, even some of the younger models of skates, you look at the holders, and the holders are burst, and you're having to retrofit the holder because you can't get holders for them anymore, which is fine, which is understandable. That's why they've got the new style holders, and people are going to have to just get with the times. But I just feel that skates are really not made the way that they used to be made. I don't know, with my experience with the True skates, whether I'll have another pair of Trues. If I can find another pair in clearance, I'll happily take them. But at the same point, I'm not 100% sure I would go with them long term unless they were full custom. I'd love to try a pair of full custom ones, but at the same point, would there be enough, how would I put it, would there be enough in it for me to go for a full pair of customs? And what I mean by that is, would I see the benefit of it being a bigger, taller, heavier player? Now, it's just something that I've thought about for the last little while. I luckily have some spare holders here, so I'm going to try and change the left holder on my skate and see if it makes a difference, because it could be just the fact that the holder itself has went soft. If we take that holder off and we put another one on, and the other one feels great, the skate goes back to normal, then I'm quite happy with that. It saved me having to buy another pair of skates. But with the fact that the tendon guard is broken, it looks as if I've got another tendon guard repair that I'm going to have to do on my own skates. Now, just by chance I have one tendon guard left, and I've already promised it to Scott, so I'm going to change Scott's tendon guard right now. I'm not going to time lapse it, but I will show you it once it's done. And if you're wondering what's falling about in here, considering the fact it's dark, because my pad fell off of the heater. I'm trying to keep my stuff nice and dry, and yeah, I don't really have anywhere to dry it at home just yet. I don't want to stink the place out either, even though all of my equipment has just been washed. Right, enough of me rabbiting. I'm going to get this done and I'll come back to you and show you the damage on the holder. Or sorry, not just the holder. The damage in the holder in my skate, if there is any, and the damage on the tendon guard on Scott's skate. So Scott's tendon guard has been taken off, and it was a bit of a nuisance to come off. The copper itself was way too big for the actual tendon guard, and well, it caused a little bit of damage. And the fact that it totally caved in the back of the tendon guard, it doesn't really make a difference because this one's not going back on a skate. But as you can see, it's cracked, and you can see how much it's moved. It actually doesn't look as if there's much damage at the front until you actually have a look at it. That seems to be an issue, in my opinion. I know that these are replaceable parts, but again, if you are paying that much money on a pair of skates, would you want your tendon guards to have to be replaced all the time? Leave a comment down below if you think it's something that you should have to change every now and then, especially if you're spending that amount of money on a pair of skates. Let me go on and do this. I'm going to have a wee mess about with this as well. I'm going to see how pliable it is to try and see if I can get it to plastic weld back together. If I can get it to plastic weld back together, it might mean that I might be able to do that for my own. So by the looks of it, these True skates are the gift that keeps on giving. If you can see here, there seems to be a hole in the side of the skate. Now, I had been wondering why the skate felt so soft for so long. Now, fair enough, I was having the issues at the heel, but now that's brought that to light that I'm now going to have to try and see if I can fix this. I'm going to have to try and see if I can sand this back tonight, and then I'm going to try and see if I can get some carbon fibre in there and some resin, try and sturdy that up, because I still can't get a pair of skates at the moment, unfortunately, because there's not really much left in the UK in the way of stock. So I'm going to have to try and see if I can get this fixed tonight for Thursday. Now, it's obviously Wednesday. I'm going to have to try and leave it as long as I can. Thursday during the day, I'm going to probably have to come back in and I'm going to have to try and see if I can get these ready. If I can't get them ready, it looks as if I'll not be skating. Another thing that I'm finding as well is the actual boot itself is starting to deteriorate quite rapidly. There's a lot of stuff coming off of here, and there's a chunk of carbon fibre that's underneath here as well that seems to have been coming loose. So I'm going to have to try and resin all that back into place. Luckily enough for me, I have done a little bit of work on these skates, or this style of skate before, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some leg tape in the inside of this part here, and then I'm going to try and see if I can impregnate some resin and some carbon fibre chop in there, try and see if I can get it looking a little bit more uniform. Just my luck. So I don't know how this one's going to turn out but I have an idea. When I looked at the skate and I've tried to take back as much of the damage as possible, as you can see it's quite a massive hole now. I say a massive hole, it's probably about 2 eyelets worth of, or an eyelet's worth. I could probably get away with just patching it, putting some super glue in it, maybe try and building it up with something. The plan that I have with this, looking at the skate, is the skate itself looks in okay condition. There is a crack at the heel though. This part here is cracked. I don't know if you're able to see that. I'll just see if I can get it to a better situation. Just here it's cracked. Again, I might have to fix that at a later date, but for just now, because it's a repair that I'm going to need for Thursday, I'm just going to focus on the worst part, which is this part here. What my plan is, I've got JB Weld. I've never used it before. I'm going to mix some carbon fibre chop up with it, and then I'm going to try and paste it in. Hopefully it takes. It's apparently steel reinforced, so we'll see how that goes. I'll try and see if I can get it done. I won't time lapse it. I'm going to try and see if I can get this done as quickly as I can, because time is getting on. I want to try and go home and I want to get to bed, and obviously I want to try and get this set so it can have all of tomorrow to adhere to the skate. Hopefully it works. We'll see how it goes. So we'll see how this repair holds up. This one didn't take long at all. The JB Weld takes around about 4 to 6 hours to set solid, and it can be sanded down and stuff like that in that time. So what I've actually done, as you can see, is I have actually mixed some carbon fibre with it and I've put it in. So I don't really know much about the product itself, other than it says that it's an original cold weld formula steel reinforced epoxy. So I would take it that 4 to 6 hours set time, 15 to 24 hours to fully cure, and cure colour goes dark, which dark grey. Now that's fine, I don't have a problem with that. It doesn't really make a difference with regards to my skates. I don't really care what they look like as long as they're functional. So the plan just now is, if it's going to take 4 to 6 hours, I'm going home and I'm going to leave it the whole of tomorrow, and then on Thursday afternoon I'll come back in and hopefully I'll be able to drill a hole in that and put a holder on it. The reason being is as I've said, I'm skating on Thursday night and I don't think I'm going to be able to get a pair of skates overnight for Thursday, and even if I did, I would still have to heat mould them, and I wouldn't be able to skate in them for, well, needless to say, 24 hours or 12 to 24 hours. So we're going to go away, we're going to leave this and see how it sets. I did originally put some on the back here when it's cracked, but again, I'm just going to try and see if I can sand these back. These are going to be a project skate now. As soon as I get something else to skate in, my plan is to try and pull them right back to nothing and reinforce them and try and make them a stiffer skate. I know it's going to be a lot of work, but to be honest, it'll be something that I've got to do over maybe a quiet period or a quiet day. I'm not really in any major rush to do them. The plan is, like I say, to try and see if I can get these fixed and ready to go for Thursday. It is obviously Wednesday right now, so 12 to 24 hours, we should hopefully have a new holder on these. It did say 24 hours to fully set. I'm just checking, 15 to 24 hours. It depends. It's relatively warm in the store, obviously because all the heaters are on it at the moment, but it can get very cold in here. So we'll see how that repair goes. Like I say, hopefully it's going to be good enough to skate on. So just while I was sitting about waiting, just getting everything kind of sorted to go home, I had a little epiphany that I wanted to try and see if I could do some plastic welding on the tendon guard. So as you can see, it looks very, very rough at the back, and it looks not too bad on the inside, but that is literally just a little bit of neck guard plastic that I've used to try and stiffen it up and try and stop it from cracking. It seems to be okay, but I don't think it would hold. It would be one of them ones where you would actually have to do a proper plastic weld with a proper plastic weld machine, with the metal inserts to be able to get it to work properly, I think. But I'm quite happy with the way it is at the moment. It's given me a spare one just in case. I am going to have to try and fix both of my own, or try and see if I can get some ordered. Maybe when I go home I'll order some, hopefully they'll turn up on Thursday so I can get them on the skates. One of the things I find with the tendon guards in these skates is they're very, very stiff, which I don't really mind, if I'm honest. I like a really, really stiff skate. My main concern is if they're going to crack. Now, I've only really been skating in these skates for roughly about 3 months, and I feel like the left skate is deteriorated. It's decided to start falling apart. I've seen nothing but bother with the 9X skates in the last little while. We've had quite a few carbon fibre repairs that have had to be brought in to get redone, which I'm not knocking the skate in any way, shape or form. The skate is doing its job. It's a lightweight, high performance skate. There will be some repairs that are going to happen to them, Again, I'm not knocking True in any way, shape or form. I actually like their products. I really like their skates, but I just worry that they're not built to last. It's the same as some other brands. I can't go into too much detail and say who, what, when. My diplomatic opinion on it is the skates are just not made the same way that they used to be made. I understand that they're all made for performance these days, but that's just not what it's all about anymore, in my opinion. My opinion is it should be made for longevity. In my opinion, they have to be made better. They have to be made better, especially with the money that we're paying for them nowadays. Well, afternoon, guys. It is Wednesday the 15th of October. It's 5:05 right now, and I'm in just to double check my skate and to pick up Scott's skate. Looking at it, it looks rough. Obviously, most of the repairs that I do always look rough when you first do them. Because it's for me, I'm not going to be spending hundreds of time on it, but you can still see that there's a crack just appeared in this area here, even after sanding it back, and the hole has been pretty much filled. It seems to be solid enough. I am going to put some more stuff over the top of it. I'm going to put some more of the JB Weld on it, just to be on the safe side. More is probably better in this situation, if I'm honest. The skate does feel a bit soft, just obviously having a feel about the actual skate itself. There is another couple of cracks that I'm noticing, which may just be from wear and tear, but I do feel like I'm going to have to basically take this skate apart properly if I'm going to continue to skate in it. I don't have time to do it this week, and I don't have time to do it today, unfortunately, but it does look as if I'm going to have to try and sand all of this back and put some more layers of carbon over the top of it. The reason being is I don't know if you guys are able to see, just in this area here, you can see just a crack in the actual fibres itself. There seems to be quite a few cracks in the fibres here as well, and there's a few cracks round about the back of the skate where I was feeling the skate being soft. So if I can basically reinforce that footbed, I'm hoping that basically makes it stiff enough and sturdy enough that I'm going to be able to continue to skate in these. It's not that I dislike these skates in any way, shape or form. They're relatively comfortable, apart from the fact that there seems to be a little bit of support missing in the left skate. But from the repair so far, it looks as if it's very, very promising. I should be able to sand these back. I should be able to put more carbon and more resin on them. And then what I can do is just basically reinforce the skate. It will look totally different though. You will see these vents probably disappearing and just being opened up, and not having the actual vent on it at all, just having it wide open. You will probably see the patent pending thing going missing as well, because I will have to sand all of this back. I am going to basically try and see if I can reinforce both skates. I think because of my height and my build that this is why I'm going through skates so quickly. I mean, right now, if you do the conversion, I am 17.5 stone or 17 stone 5, which that is what weight I am at the moment. I am 6'4". These skates are made for people that are bigger and taller than me and are better skaters than me. Maybe that's the reason why the skate's falling apart. A solid skate, something that's going to give me support and something that's going to last. And unfortunately, I just don't see anything that's on the standard market just now like that. Everything out on the market just now that hits my specifications for a skate is custom. So we are now in the process of looking to try and go down a custom route. The problem being is we can't get the CCM scanner at the moment. The CCM scanner is living down south in one of the other stores, and it probably won't be sent up to me. If I have to get scanned or rescanned, I'm going to have to go down to one of the stores down south, get scanned and get skates made that way. If it's through CCM, I may be able to go down and get scanned and just send the scans to CCM and then obviously get them built directly to me instead of having to go through one of the stores. That's something logistically that we'll have to look into. It seems like a bit of a nightmare. This is the same thing that I go through every other month. You're probably talking every 3 months I'll go through this, where you'll get a pair of skates, they feel absolutely solid, they feel fantastic, and then they deteriorate very, very rapidly. That's one of the reasons why I will go for clearance skates instead of going for top-end current models, because I don't think the current models will last any longer, in my opinion, but that's just me. Again, I am not slating any of the big brands here. I just personally feel like it's a cost saver for me getting maybe 2 pairs of these skates for the price that I could get 1 pair of skates. Again, a lot of people will maybe argue the fact that I'm going for 2 pairs of off the shelf instead of 1 pair of customs. It might be an issue, but as far as I'm concerned, they seem to be doing me justice just now. although they have broken a few times and I have had to repair them a few times. When I talk about the breaking and the repairing, the eyelets are starting to pull through, so I may find that I have to remove all of the hazardous logo and the plastics and stuff like that and then re-sew that in at some point. But right now it's just a bodged repair to get me by until I can get another pair of skates.